Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news and introduce you to the pioneers and the founders of the space. Today, as you can see, I'm very kindly joined by the OG that is Bit Shaman. Bit Shaman, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm great, thanks, Spud. It's been a hectic few weeks. I saw you last at Zebu Live, the UK's biggest crypto event. Bumped into you there. I've been busy. Nice to see the market picking up again. Bitcoin starting to rally. We'll break out that bull flag. Kind of excited, bro. Excited.
Awesome, man. You've been events hopping as well. You were over in Singapore. Are you done for events now for the rest of the year, or what else is on your calendar?
Actually, yeah, I think I am done for events. No. We've got a Dubcat Christmas party, actually, bro. We've got a Christmas party in Manchester. We're hiring out a hotel in Manchester and we're going out clubbing for the night. There's about 40 of us from the Dubcat community going out for a Christmas party. It's exciting times. It's the first time I've been part of a project where it's been so cult, family, very tight-knit community of people who really support each other and the project and believe. It's a funny one, isn't it? Because I've been in the space for 8 years now, and I've got to say, bro, it's been a long time since I've had that feeling of unity, and it's nice to have that, bro. I think I've just been jumping in and out of projects, and by the time you get your sort of you get settled into a project, next minute it rugs you.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. I think it's very important to host these in real life events. I hope you'll be playing some dub there. Hopefully it's a cat DJ.
Everyone's saying, is it Dubcat because you like dubstep? But it actually is just a coincidence. But I do love dubstep. Get me wrong, I do love dubstep.
Awesome, man. Let's get straight into it. Before we talk about Dubcat, and a bit more about your journey into Web3 as well. Let's have a quick look at the markets, and I'll put on a live trade as I normally do on the stream as well. Guys, I'm going to be trading Solana, so tell me now in the chat, should I go long or short? But let's have a quick look at the market. So we've got Bitcoin. It's back over 67,500. It is finding strong resistance at that kind of just over 68K. I spoke to TMG. We just had an AMA with the CSC Plus Discord. He's expecting a lot of volatility this weekend, and he thinks perhaps a dump on Sunday. Have you been trading this week? Have you been, keeping an eye on it? What's your opinion with Bitcoin at these levels?
Yeah, so I'm actually an Ethereum maximalist. So I actually am trading Ethereum. I have massive positions, but I'm a position trader. So I'm more of a long-term trader, and it's more of a case of micromanaging the position over a longer period. So, for example, I bought into Ethereum during the bear market. I dollar cost averaged in from around 1,800 down to around 1,000. Didn't quite catch the bottom, but it was good enough. And then when it came back up again, I sort of slowly scale out. But then when it comes back down again, I'm sort of re-exposing myself. So by the time the market did explode during the prior to the halving with all the Bitcoin spot ETF hype, I actually sold 75% of my position. I know it's quite a risky move to make. Obviously, we only got back to the old all-time high. And I was at a point where I was like, is this going to keep going? And then it came back down again, obviously, and I re-exposed myself from around 2,500 to 2,000. But I'm also obviously looking at Bitcoin because Ethereum is correlated to Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin does, Ethereum sort of follows. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm looking at Bitcoin more than anything because the entire market's correlated to Bitcoin, and obviously Bitcoin's correlated to the stock market. So look at the S&P 500 to see what that's doing. And I release videos on my TikTok and Twitter page about what my thoughts are on the market, and I'm pretty, I'm 9 out of 10 times right. And Bitcoin's currently in a bull flag formation. So with a bull flag, as you know, you're creating lower highs and lower lows. But what it's doing fundamentally is shaking out all the sellers. So it gets to a point where the sellers exhaust themselves. And we've broke out of the bull flag now, but we are still, as you said then, at a resistance level. And I'm looking at this now. And the key right now for me is we have to have a couple of weekly strong closes. I would like to see Bitcoin. If we're going into a bull run right now, then you would expect Bitcoin to break back above 70K and rally above that prior all-time high sooner rather than later. But it would suggest to me that if we are just going to hover around this resistance area, that it is likely that there would be some sort of sell-off. Now, to what extent that is, I don't know. But I can look back in history and say that prior the last bull run, there was that COVID crash. It was brutal. Yeah. It was brutal, wasn't it? So normally, but I look at the market and think, have we had that? Because you look at the Bitcoin chart right now, we did dip right down to 48k, 49k. Only at the beginning of August, the market did crash down to 48, 49k, didn't it? And I'm like, was that? Yeah, there. Was that the Black Swan event prior to the bull run, or has it yet come? So I'm kind of looking at this weekly close. The most important thing for me is this weekly close and the performance of the market next week. Obviously, the elections have got a massive part to play in this, and I speak to anybody in the space, any professional or analyst or experienced trader, and if I ask them, what's your thoughts on the market? It's always the same answer. It depends on the elections. So in short, if Trump gets in, it's bullish for the markets. If Harris gets in, it's bearish. So I'm getting the election result predictions are obviously swinging back into 1 week it's Harris, next week it's Trump. Oh, bro, it's stressful, and people are like, you try and explain crypto to the average person, and it's really hard, and they're like, oh, it's so boring, and I'm like, there's not a single hour of any day where it's boring. You're on the edge of your seat, and it's like, I think 2 weeks ago we had Iran launching 200 missiles into Israel. The market dropped. That was that sell-off, actually. And then obviously the next day, Israel's like, we're going to retaliate. You shouldn't have done that. You're watching the news on the edge of your seat thinking, oh my God, like, is Trump going to get in? Is Harris going to get in? And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy
to see how it fluctuates. And someone who's not political, all of a sudden I'm super political now, and I'm keeping an eye on it. And, I just wanted to draw your attention. You're talking about kind of past trends here, which you viewed throughout August, July. If we go back to around July the 22nd, you can see we're at similar levels to where we are now. Around that 67,000 level, and then it broke. It broke past the 67,000, went all the way down to here to around $64,000. I think for me, this is something that could play out where we are currently. And then look, it went straight back up, 72k all time, up to all-time highs, basically. So this is something for me, that perhaps may play out where we are now. I'm keeping an eye on ETH. I'm very similar to you. I am a Bitcoin maxi, but I've got to be honest, I hold probably 0 Bitcoin right now. Just a few scraps in wallets here and there, and I'm in ETH and I'm in Solana. I see better opportunity there, but the ETH dominance has been lagging for so long now. It's only a matter of time, I believe.
I completely agree. Hopefully, what? Sorry.
Yeah, hopefully it comes soon, and then we see the mid caps with the low caps come through, and it is just timing the cycle, isn't it? I think we're always going to go when. But when it actually happens, I think it will be nice when we see that ETH dominance start to gain some traction. You can see here from Stonksy as well on the 1 hour has been absolutely killing it. If we go here, there was a signal around here up to where we are now. That's a 10% gain it called there. Really nice to see as well. And then also on the downside, some good calls from Stonksy here, guys. There is an affiliate scheme. If you want to go check it out, ping me in Discord or go check out the stonksy.io website, guys. I will just pull up the ETH chart quickly as well to see. I pulled up while we were speaking about it just now, and you can see that Stonksy has just called a short on this on the 1 hour.
There's a lot of people calling for a short on Ethereum right now. Yeah.
And if we go over to place my live trade on Solana, we've got Wizard of Alt is saying long. We've got your boy Chad saying long. I go short here, really. What are you thinking, Bitcharman?
I would say short personally, but only in the very short term. I feel like in the next few weeks the market is going to heat up, but I think super short term we might get one last little sell off. But personally, as I was saying, my style in all aspects of crypto is more longer term, and I want to talk about this to the investors so they can get some understanding, because you know, I've been in the game now for eight years, and you know, I've made decent money, mate. I've made enough money to be able to retire. And I'm in the game because I love the game. I'm obsessed with trading and investing, obsessed with the mindset, the lifestyle, and everything that I do in my life is tended towards trading and investing. So I go to the gym every single day to keep my head on, because this game is so stressful. I mean, you're playing with money and you're watching charts, and you see any of these movies like Wolf of Wall Street or any of the famous trading movies, they're always like completely losing their mind, and they're the biggest degenerates, aren't they? They're trying to like, you're trying to keep your emotions at bay, but at the same time, you get to a point where you're like, you just need to have some fun. I mean, it's not like it's not fun. I love the game. But
it's a mental game. It's patience, strategy, and sometimes, you know, I often say to people, I consider myself more of an investor, longer term trader, and I'm honest with them. You know, when I'm day trading, sometimes I don't have the patience. I like to gamble. I like the thrill of it, and perhaps I make the wrong call, even though in here I know it. But you know, me on the other side, I'm wanting to press, wanting it to get. So that's why I find investing, the kind of longer term, getting invested in the fundamentals is what benefits me more. And you know, anyone who's listening in right now, you've got to kind of find your own strategy. You can copy others, you can take bits from others, but you've got to find your own niche and what works best for you as well. But I wanted to rewind a bit there. We spoke about you spoke about, you know, coming into Web3, but let us know how you first came across Bitcoin, how you first came across cryptocurrency, and what was that turning point for you where you went, right, I'm obsessed with it. I want to make this my career. I want to make it my lifestyle. How did that come about?
Well, I was an electrician for 16 years. I've been talking about this recently on my live streams on TikTok, and I hated working 9 till 5 from the first day. I said the other day that I finished my first day at work after coming out of school, and I was I was just like most of you guys out there now. You're sort of having fun. You're sort of like living the best life, and then you go into the workplace and you're just like, this can't be my life. This can't be the future. And I left that first day at work crying my eyes out, just in complete disbelief that this was now my life. I was going to now spend. We'd work 7 till 5. That was standard. I caught the back end of what I call the hard times, where you actually got bullied in the workplace. It was only shortly after you got the cane in school. You know, I only just missed the cane, bro. I mean, it was tough times. As well. I would have 100% got caned and more. But it was tough times, and so I found out about crypto when I was in my late 20s, just turning 30, and I knew somebody in the real world who made 6 million in 6 months in 2017, and I thought he was lying, because he's a bit of a bullshit, if I'm honest with you. And so it's like, bullshit. And we're having a barbecue, and he turned up in a fucking Lamborghini, and I'm like, shit, this is real. This is happening. And I've been working so hard for years in my job to try and get a promotion to become a supervisor or a site manager, and you get paid an extra £1 an hour, and you're putting all this extra effort in just to make an extra £1 an hour, and you're making all the sacrifices. And I was talking about how the workplace just wants your time and energy. They can afford to keep paying you peanuts, but what they really want is your life, your energy, your time. So I keep saying that if you're working for your money, you're essentially a slave, because your time and energy is being spent just making money. And when the money's crap, that's even worse, because that's the value that you're putting on your time and energy. So I think, first of all, what I'm trying to preach is everyone in crypto has a different philosophy on why they want to make money. But for me, it should be, you should be investing to get your time and energy so you can do what you want with it. You've got options, choice, freedom, flexibility with the limited time that you've got, because it's your time that's the most valuable thing on this planet. It's limited, it's finite, you're never getting it back. So it should be your time. But I see a lot of younger people going, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Rolex, want a penthouse, want a yacht. it's irrelevant because we're not on a deathbed. You are not going to be saying, I wish I got that Ferrari. You're not even going to be thinking about material things. It'll be all the things you'll be saying is, I wish I spent more time with the kids. Wish I had more time. Wish I'd done more things whilst I was here. So I'm really in my late 20s. It started to hit me how I was starting to get tired, bro. You know, I started feeling a little bit lethargic. I wasn't as switched on. And I really started to understand that my time is running out. And when I found out about crypto, it gave me the opportunity to make the money I needed. So I had that time to do the things that I want to do. So my priority was to make as much money in short amount of time. And I suppose that's all our priority, isn't it? I suppose everybody's priority. And it'll bring me to Dubcat and Memecoins and the sort of super cycle that we're in a minute. But for me, I live below my means, if I'm honest with you. I actually live, I'm quite a simple person, bro, if I'm honest with you. I've got a very basic lifestyle. I go to the gym every single day. I've got the same routine. I eat the same food. I'm very, very disciplined. And I look at a lot of professional traders, and they're basically athletes, if I'm honest with you, bro. They're mentally tough. They've got amazing mindsets and outlooks, and they're physically really fit. And I'm trying to educate people on how they can build the right mindset for themselves. So my passion, my purpose is helping other people. So even though I have made the money, I don't even need to be here now. I am here by choice. I love the game and I enjoy the community. And that's what got me into crypto, was understanding that my time is limited. I don't want to work a 9 to 5, and I want to have the freedom, options, and choice to do what I want with the limited time that I've got on this planet. You know, pretty similar to me, Chami. You know, I was working 6 days a week, three times a month, and then I'd have one Saturday off at the end of the month. Exactly. And you know, it was affecting my relationships. It was you know, I was losing my time, and it really the light bulb switched when I realized that my manager, who'd been at the company for 17 years, he was unhappy. Shout out Richard if you're listening, by the way. He was he was unhappy with his life, and he was still having to come in on you know, do every other Saturday. And I went, and you know, he was the top dog at the company. And I thought, wow, if you know, they're making him still come in on Saturdays to just pick up a few calls and do a few Ponzi house viewings, this isn't for me. I'm losing my time. Then I started trading while I was at work, and then I missed you know, this was back in the ICO days. I missed a few ICOs. One of them went on to, you know, if I put in $200, I would have had $8,000. So I'm going, what am I doing wasting my time here? And I think you know, you've got to have that moment where you go, screw it. You know, even if you're not, you know, even if people are listening in right now and they don't feel like they're financially in the position to kind of forego their career or their job that they've got at the moment, I would say if you've got that passion, you've got that drive, jump in the deep end, because that's where you're really going to find you know, find yourself, and you're going to go for it. For you, Shami, what was the turning point when you went, fuck it, I'm handing in my notice, we're going for this full speed? It's funny, actually, because you just mentioned then in regards to how bad do you want it. So I just want to say, first of all, people say, where do I start? Because they're in the same position that I was in when I first started. And I always say, understand, do you actually want it? Because most people would just like it. And if you can sleep happily at night and you can just keep plodding on, the reason why 95% of people invest in crypto is just because they would just like the money if it landed on their lap. But they're not really willing to put the work in. Those people are never going to make money. You've got to put extreme amounts of time and effort in. But when it all changed for me was when I was an electrician and my wages barely went up, but the cost of living was going up like that. And every single year you could feel the difference. And it got to a point where we couldn't even go on holiday anymore. And it got so tough that I was working every single weekend overtime. I had loans, credit cards, finance, you name it, a massive mortgage. And it got to a point where I just couldn't live anymore. And the amount of work and effort for the money that I was receiving and the time that I was putting in just wasn't worth it. So when I found out about crypto, it was a no-brainer. And as you were saying then, it's sort of the path of least resistance. You're seeing, well, I can make this much money and put this little time in. I mean, you can trade anywhere in the world. Like, I mean, digital nomads are now taking a laptop and just trading on the beach in Thailand, and they're living in different resorts together. And they can live the best life and put the minimum amount of time in, but make the most money. So it's an absolute no-brainer. But as a newer, less experienced investor, it's quite dangerous because you're seeing all the pros and the end results and the success and the cars, the lifestyle. And you aren't understanding that there actually is a massive amount of work to put in. And for me, it all stems from, first, your mindset, secondly, your lifestyle, and third, the strategy and process. And you've just got to be so disciplined. I was saying before that if I tell the average person what I do every day, I'll bore them to death. But do you know what? I fucking love it. And I make loads of money and I do whatever I fucking want. But I'm not reckless with that choice. I keep saying that. There needs to be a society. There needs to be a rat race. There needs to be a government controlling everybody, because most people, if they were given that freedom, they would choose to abuse it and do all the things they want to do rather than the things they have to do. Whereas I spend all my time doing the things I have to do. I go to the gym every single day. I hate going to the gym, but I do it because I know I have to. And it's the same with crypto. You're networking all the time, and you know yourself, you're maintaining relationships with all these really passionate people, and if you don't keep that network up, they'll leave you behind. So only after a few days, if you aren't touching base with your boys in crypto, only after a few days you're gone. See you, bro. You don't want the money bad enough, so you've got to really be tapped in. And I'll be honest now, you're on your phone constantly, you're checking the charts constantly, and it's a lifestyle. It consumes your entire to people. Understand early on, how bad do you want it? Because if you can sleep well at night now, knowing you haven't got it, you don't want it bad enough.
Yeah. And also, Shami, like what, for me, you know, people can have that ambition and then they hit a certain price target that they had in mind, and then they lose focus again. And you know, I can imagine in your journey, you know, you've hit those price targets, or you know, but how do you stay hungry? How do you keep that tempo up?
It's a great question, bro. Honestly, that is absolutely great question, because I have hit those price targets and it's knocked the wind out of my sails, and it's completely knocked me off my feet. And I remember spending 6-7 months during 2021 after that last bull market where I'd made that much money, where I was just like, don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I could do anything I want, and I was. Every day I was doing whatever I wanted. And do you know what? It gets boring. It does get boring. Do you know what? Money is actually a demotivator. The more money you make, the less motivated you are. Not just to make it, but in life. Everybody thinks that if you make loads of money, it's the cure for all your issues, but it's not. It's going to create more issues. Like Biggie says, more money, more. You need more money, more problems. You absolutely need a purpose, and you need to be here for reasons other than money. You have to be doing it for a higher purpose. You have to be doing it for, you know, because you have a goal, and you want to build something real. You want to create. You want to help. You want to really install something. But there has to be actual passion. There has to be dedication, because you know yourself, bro. You were saying then, once you hit a certain target, and here's the issue with most projects in crypto: the teams are making the teams are making the projects just to make money. Once they've made that money, they just rug it, because they're like, well, we've made the money. That was the purpose. Once they make it, they leave. So I'm saying, when you're investing in projects, you've got to invest in people who are running them for reasons other than just making money. And I guarantee 99.9% of projects are run just to make money. You can't invest in that shit, because they just leave after a certain time once they've made the money.
Yeah. Talking about momentum and communities, let's switch over to Dubcat. I've got to say, your chart on the daily looks insane. Looks absolutely how you would love a chart to look. You know, pullbacks, you know, slight dips, bought up, dips, bought up, dips, bought up, higher highs after higher highs. I can see your community in the chat as well. Dubcat making history. Tell us a bit about the history of Dubcat and how you came to do the CTO.
It's crazy, because we've been talking about how we got into the space and hitting these levels and trying to keep yourself motivated. And if I'm honest with you now, all my best stories come from when I first came into crypto. I'm sure it's the same with you, bro. Like 2017 to 2019, it was insane. It was all like degenerate. It was the Wild West. It was crazy. But the last couple of years for me has kind of been a bit stable, if I'm honest with you. It's been too easy. I'm one of those people that need to challenge. I have to be taking, you know, I have to have things going on. And the last couple of years, really, it's just been really boring for me. And Dubcat was actually, it wasn't planned. None of this was planned. And the amazing thing with meme coins is the most successful ones were never planned. So I actually got rugged by Dubcat. I got rugged. Our community at the Gem Hunters got rugged by Dubcat, and we did a community takeover, but we didn't expect anything to come from it. But it was that whole memeability of, you know, it started off as the dev sold at 30k market cap. How far can we take? How far
He must be kicking himself.
He jumped off a bridge last month. So how far?
He's missed out on about a 200x of probably 10% or something, whatever he had as well.
They couldn't sell fast. They couldn't sell fast enough, and that's the problem with most crypto projects. The KOLs, the team, the investors, they can't sell fast enough. But the reason why the Dubcat chart looks the way it does is because nobody will sell a single token. We're a cult. We're a community. We're a family. We believe. And I've been in the space for 8 years now, and I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I said before, got a Christmas party at the end of this year. We're all coming together and go out in Manchester as a massive crew. Have a banging night. Next year, we've banging night. Next year, we're going to all the conferences. We've got yacht parties next year, bro. You know, I'd love you to come, actually. Say that. Should we invite Spud? Should we invite Spud? And it's great.
I'm a holder, so I'm game. For,
are you holding? Love it. Yeah, what a guy.
For other people that are wanting to get into the community and perhaps come to these in real life events as well, what's the best way that they can get involved?
I suppose getting involved in the Telegram community is the best place to be. And if you look at the Telegram community, you'll see that the chat is just going insane and everyone's really excited. And as I said before, it's really hard because I'm a KOL, right? And I've been involved in hundreds of projects. So I know how the game works. And listen, nothing against KOLs. I'm a KOL straight up. And there's some amazing KOLs. And Dubcat's got over 50 KOLs. But they've all market bought. That's the difference. So everybody involved in Dubcat is involved because they want to be there. There's a big difference. Whereas normally the way a project works is the team will generate the tokens. They'll then give all the tokens to the KOLs. But the issue is once you start giving that supply out, you put an expiry date on the project. Because it's only a matter of time before that supply finds its way back onto the market. But when you gave that supply to all these influencers and celebrities and KOLs, they're the ones who are supposed to be fucking promoting it. But once they put it back on the market, they leave and jump onto the next one. And then the project comes to an end and there's nothing they can do to recover it. So the bottom line is, once you put that supply on the market, it's over. So the reason why the Dubcat chart looks the way it does is because we have such good supply control and nobody wants to sell a single token. Now, most meme tokens, you know yourself, bro, and I suppose it's the way they work. You get massive ups, massive downs, massive ups, massive downs. But when you have great supply control, there's no tokens to sell. And, you know, if somebody did want to sell some Dubcat now, I'll buy every single token. I'll buy every single token. And I've got MetaMask wallets there where we've enough money on that I've not even touched in years. That we've enough money on to buy the price up to freaking 50 mil market cap. But why would I? We're going to wait. We're going to wait.
It's picking those moments.
Absolutely. And we're going to shake out every single weak hand until we're ready. And then we're going to send it parabolic to an extent where I think it's going to be rarely ever seen in crypto. So the Radium pool has less than 2% of the supply left in it. And it's always the case. There's barely any supply on the market. So our aim right now is to buy up every single token as cheap as we can, because once we surpass 10 mil, we're going to start pushing it really hard. But once we start pushing it, it's too late. So you know yourself, most retail investors and less experienced investors are chasing a price. That's why they don't make money. But the idea is you buy as much as you can, like Bitcoin, for example, whilst the prices are low. And even though Dubcat's on an uptrend and it's making higher highs and higher lows, it's still sort of in a consolidation phase. And what I always say is the longer a price is consolidating for, the harder it will pump. And only a matter of time now. But we aren't going to give away our secrets and give people a chance to front run. It will happen when it happens, and most people are going to miss it. That's a fact, Spud. Most people are going to miss it, and they're going to say, "I wish I bought Dubcat. I wish I bought Dubcat." It's a life changer. It'll be a life changer for most people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good to hear that you're on board. By the way,
yeah, man. I think I got in around 3 mil, probably August time. Let's have a look on the chart. Yeah, would have been around. But I do need to top up my bag, so I will probably you'll see a nice little ape after this stream. But yeah, with community coins, CTOs, I've got to shout out the Crypto King as well. He's doing a meme coin, a CTO on Ton Network, which is TCAT. And very similar to what you've got going on with your community, and it's really good to see, man. And it's what I've also noticed, also with Chippy as well, is through the community you get these absolute grafters that are in the TG chat. They're posting on Twitter. They're wanting to get involved. They're offering a lot of the time, they're offering their services for free. And a lot of people from the Chippy community now have a paid role. And anyone listening right now, I would say, get as involved as you can in the projects that you're in. If you've got conviction in it yourself, go for it. Support the community, and you never know what door that will open. A lot of people are finding work through this, and I think it'll be similar to how you got into crypto. When I first got into crypto, my story is I worked for free for TMG for 3 months before he actually said, "Oh shit, have you not got a contract yet?" And he couldn't afford to lose me because I'd done such a good job. That then they go, right, let's sign you up. So anyone listening in right now, work for free, give as much effort as you can to the moment where you can't be dismayed. They can't afford to lose you, and then you all of a sudden you'll find yourself in a career.
That is the absolute best advice. Honestly, this guy, we haven't. Even though, what, actually, I'll tell these guys a funny story, actually. You've been to a Chippy conference because you guys do, you're serving the fish and chips and you're doing the rounds. I love that, by the way. Shout out to the Chippy community. And he was coming back. He was coming back from Halifax. Yeah. I'm not mentioning the location, by the way, bro. I'm not mentioning the location. No, but he was coming back from Halifax and he stopped in a little village to get some breakfast. And I walked in. It's my local cafe, and who's sat there? Spud is sat there, and he's like, "Shadi," and it's quite rare. It's quite rare because you rarely bump into people who are involved in crypto. So going into my local, I mean, the chances of Spud being in the same little cafe, coming back from Halifax on his way to London, he could have stopped in any 100,000 cafes, but it was the one that I was about to walk into. So funny, bro. Absolutely hilarious. But I want to go back to what you were saying then in regards to getting involved in a community as a community member is the best thing you can do. And I'm not just saying that because I need people to do that. That's how I started as well. So I started as a moderator in a shitcoin when I first started crypto, where I was moderating the chat, and then they saw how active and hardworking I was, and they gave me a promotion to community manager. And then when I was a community manager, I started meeting all the people in the group who had the most connections, and they got me involved in projects that they were running, and they were giving me alpha. And before I knew it, I had a Twitter handle. I was becoming an influencer. And it all started from me just getting involved and helping out in the community. And now I am where I am, financially free, retired, never have to work a day in my life ever again because I became an active member in a community. And it all stemmed from there. It wasn't me sitting here trying to learn how to trade for myself, playing one-player game. This is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. It's all about networking and connecting. It's like your network is literally your net worth. So if you're involved in any meme, and there's some great memes out there, NPCS is doing great. There's a new one there called Pojak. And Dubcat, I mean, I've never seen a community like Dubcat. And, you know, I'm just putting it out there. If you're involved in any meme coin, especially meme coins, or utility, but especially meme coins, because meme coins are community driven, get involved in the community. It's the absolute best thing you'll ever do, because if you're active and you're showing people like you're willing to put the effort in, they'll see it a mile away and they'll involve you in other things. And before you know it, you'll be making loads of money.
Yeah, so exactly. And I think a lot of people they feel like, you know, they don't want to offer their services for free. But, you know, if you've got conviction in a project, you like the team, you like the network, go for it. And, you know, get to the point where you're indisposable. They can't afford to lose you. And then before you know it, you've got a role and it leads to other things. I wanted to shout out actually some really active members from the CSE community that recently launched their own meme coin on Say. So you'll probably find this one funny. It's called Celine Dion. You know,
I saw that.
These are members from our community.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that earlier.
So super funny. And the reason behind it was, you know, not many meme coins on Say are very early, very new. So they're trying to be, you know, one of the first adopters and kind of ride the wave. Say looks quite good. For people that don't know Say, I believe it's mainly like a gaming blockchain. It's very, very fast. It's EVM compatible. But yeah, it's cool, guys. So go check that out. Celine Dion. Like I say, it's members of the CSE community as well. And, you know, they're learning from these bits and you know, implementing it. And I've got to support them because they're smashing it, guys.
Absolutely. Massive respect to those guys for putting up. You know what, bro? I've been leading Dubcat now for a few months, and I was a trader and investor, but now I'm starting to meet all the builders in the space, and these guys are on a whole other level. Yeah. And they all support each other, and they're all helping each other. And I tell you what, I've met some amazing people. Massive shout out to Soldier Boy. Massive shout out to all the little communities. James over at Pojak, the Dubcat team, Kanian, Dragon Mother, Ro, Steve, Mark, and there's so many more. Jack, I feel like I have to mention everyone's name now, otherwise people are going to feel pissed off that I haven't mentioned them. But the whole Dubcat community, I mean, I love you guys. You've been the biggest support. And do you know what, Spud? You know what's crazy, mate? There's a lot of people who you would expect to have stepped up and supported you who haven't. And mate, it's fucking devastating, mate. It's devastating, you know. And when you're running a project, shit gets real. Shit gets real. And it's not just you having to put all your time and energy in. It's who actually steps up and supports you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. So
for
seeing
sure,
you give yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I think for a lot of people, with these community coins, it's giving. Or just checked on my trade. We're in $100 loss. I should have listened to Chad and Wizard on that one. But sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Maybe the big loss was worrying me. It's absolutely shitting up right now.
I was just saying, I respect the fact that you gave those guys a shout out because it goes a long way. And I met you at Zebu Live, and it was funny because I took out my missus, and we started talking, and it was really flowing. Got my camera out and just started talking about, I met Zebu Live guys, and Spud just jumps in and he's like, oh, check this out, And he mentioned the Dubcat community, and you know, bro, it goes a long way when people actually are considerate. And I saw that obviously that you just mentioned that this Celine Dion, the guys are hustling, give them some support. I mean, it doesn't take much effort for you to sit there and say, oh, guys, by the way, there's some Chads making this new coin called Celine Dion. Give the guys a follow, respect the hustle. I'm like, I respect that shit, mate. You know, I respect that, mate.
We mentioned it off stream, and it you know, this will resonate with people in the chat as well. But we're stronger together. It's a small industry, you know, like the story that you just mentioned there. You know, if we had burnt that bridge, if I'd said, "Oh, Bit Shaman, I don't like his calls," all of this, I'd walked into a cafe in the middle of nowhere. I'd have been, oh, sorry. So,
and guys, you know what? I agree. Yeah, I agree, mate. Drama's bad for business. Yeah, I agree.
And I think if anyone has any questions from the chat, whack them in now. We got Sam Gems there, but perhaps is there anything that you'd like to show or draw some attention to?
What, show on my screen? Or
yeah, or I can search as well. Anything that you want to drop on the crew just before we pop off. We've got Carl
okay,
here, who loves the t-shirt.
Thanks, Carl. I'm
buy the Dubcat t-shirts.
I'm gonna start ordering them in so we can give out some of those some t-shirts to people. I'm gonna share my screen with the Bitcoin chart. Now I'm not sure what you can. Can you see my screen at the moment, or can you actually? Yeah. Okay. Great. You can see that, can't you now?
Perfect.
So,
yeah. Got it.
I mentioned earlier that Bitcoin's in a bull flag formation. Now, short term, it's bearish because the market's creating lower highs and lower lows.
Yeah.
So you can see that the price is coming down slowly. And what you're waiting for is a breakout of this resistance level, which is where we are now. But what we want is a close. So a strong weekly close. I mentioned a weekly close. Now, if we move on to the weekly chart right now, you'll see that we have broke out of this formation in the past. But in the past, you'll see that those closes were wicks. So basically what happened was the price came up and then got pushed back down. So when you see a wick from the top there, it shows that bears are selling and it's pushing the price back down. When you see a wick from the bottom, it shows that momentum is switching and it's pushing the price back up again. So not only have we got wicks from the bottom here, we've also got a really strong close. So what I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin is that this candle continues. Even if we close where we are now, it's bullish. But if this candle in the next 2 days, because it closes on Sunday at 1 in the morning UK time, if the candle comes back down and closes below there, then it's likely going to come back down and be a sell-off. But if we continue where we are right now, even if we close where we are, great. Or if we go higher, even better. So these are the things that I'm looking at right now in regards to Bitcoin. But I just want to give people a little bit of an insight into what I'm looking at right now, because we're in this bull flag formation. But if you look at the last bull run, prior to that bull run, we had the same formation forming. And if you look, bro, you'll see that it's exactly the same. And just before the end of that bull flag, we had the COVID crash. And we had basically a black swan event. And a lot of people are expecting that to happen before we crawl into the bull run. But what I'm saying is, was that this? Like, was that sell-off this? Because that was the Iran launching all the missiles into Israel. Now, was that sell-off? Is that the sell-off that we're looking for before we crawl into the bull run? And the other thing that I'm looking at, bro, one last little thing I'm looking at is if we go on look at how much time it's spent in this bull flag. It's 320 days in the last bull flag. And so far, it's been 230 days. So, you could look at that and go, well, we've not quite. And I do really think between me and you, but my bias wants this to break out and us to go into a bull market. But deep down, looking at the facts, bro, I am thinking, I don't want it to.
You've got another 100 days. That takes us up to January, February, which actually, for me, if you're looking at seasonal trends, makes sense. So yeah, good bit of analysis there, man. Just before we finish up today, guys, if you've liked the stream, please make sure to like and subscribe. We will be doing more of these. Let us know in the Telegram chats, on Twitter, if you've enjoyed it today. I just wanted to share my tab. I'm going to leave that trade open for now. I'm going to probably put some take profit and stop losses on it as well. But I just wanted to show you guys, it is free Chippy Friday today. So if you are a holder of Chippy, you have to hold 100,000 tokens, which is about $120, $130 right now. And you will get airdropped $20. I think roughly it's about 15,000 tokens currently, just for having fish and chips anywhere in the world. If you order fish and chips, go over to the pin tweet. It explains it all there. As you can see, you have to do a quote tweet, put your photo, something like this, and then you'll get airdropped, guys. So if you're looking for a free meal, if you've got friends, you're going to the pub tonight, go to Weatherspoons, and you can all have free fish and chips, and you actually make a little bit of money from it as well.
can I literally share one last little screen before we end this?
Yeah. I'll leave it back.
By the way, shout out to Chippy Friday. By the way, I said to Martini guy, I want to come to one of these Chippy Fridays. Let me know. I'll turn up. Maybe Dubcat can eat some chips.
we can have a chippy lunch and then a Dubcat party. How does that sound?
That sounds really good, bro. So on the Dubcat side of things, the Dubcat chart. Now, this I understand people are going to say I'm obviously biased towards Dubcat, but show me a better chart in crypto. Show me. I'm inviting anyone of the audience to come to me with a better chart. Bring it. You can't. You literally can't. That is the best looking chart in
steady growth.
And I said before, didn't go on.
There's no crazy spikes, which is good because it shows no one's bought a massive bag in one go. So it's all steady. So that shows to me that there's the less chance of dumping as well. Hopefully, to me that shows that there's good kind of holder
supply control. Yeah, supply control. Exactly. But I was saying before when I look at the Bitcoin chart that when you look at the wicks, for example, the wicks to the downside signify a move to the upside. The wick to the upside signify a move to downside. And you can see here, it's like clockwork, and it's an absolutely gorgeous chart. And you can see here now we're getting all these wicks to the downside. So we're gearing up for a massive move to the upside. As I said, it will come when nobody expects. And it'll be a case of, should have bought Dubcat. But you know yourself, bro, I've been in the space for 8 years, and I understand. Yeah. I buy, I hold, I wait. And you know what? I scale out slowly. I don't even dump my bag, but most people, they buy and they're on the edge of their seat. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, don't make it so complicated. Buy in towards the bottom here, like towards the trend line, and just wait. Just wait. Yeah. Like, there's no sort of, don't complicate it. Just buy, wait, and then slowly sell as it goes up. But people, don't sell. Depends how much money you want to make. Listen, if you want to make big money, hold diamond hand. But diamond hand the right things. If you're diamond handing some fucking shit coin that rubs you, then you can obviously.
It does come down to the network as well. You see with ETH, they're more likely to be diamond handed because of the gas fees getting out. Solana's always struggled with, it's too easy to go, boom, 100% market sell, see you later.
Absolutely.
It's good to see a project like Dubcat where you do see that steady growth and, people diamond handing. But guys, we've had an amazing session today, almost an hour here. I just wanted to make sure you go follow BitShaman and Dubcat. You can see it in the little footer going there as well. Make sure to give them a follow, guys. We will be doing more content together in the upcoming, and who knows, you may see a Chippy cross Dubcat party in the near future, guys. But thanks all for joining in. Make sure to like and subscribe. And let us know how you found today, and we will do more, guys. BitShaman, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Spud.
Awesome. Let's go. Have a great Friday, guys. Have a good weekend. Woo!
I love it.